Because we're live.
Oh, as my friend Jordan Owens always says when we open the show. And we're back, everybody. Hey, everybody. This is Dutch McAllister. We have been away for a little bit. We had WrestleMania weekend come by and a lot of other crazy things take place. Jordan was busy with that. I was busy with other things as well. But I got to tell you, I'm glad we're back. The countdown to 100 has begun. We're all excited. Without further ado, Jordan, tell the people how much you missed them, because I really didn't.
Did you say you didn't?
No, not really. I do wish that more people would have watched the last show. That was the more important show. But this is Key Show number 81, I believe, now, or 2.
82, I believe. 82. This is Quit Monkeying Around. This is the Dutch list of the top 10 movies featuring monkeys, apes, gorillas, orangutans. Anything else I'm missing?
No, they just have to have somewhat of a pivotal role in the film. Not like the one behind you. I know you're gonna love that one probably, but Ed, I think it's called, right? But yeah,
role. If you like the movie, it would count.
Yes, yeah, it is, and or it has a very major impact on the role. So I think it was just a fun thing to do since we've been off for a while. A little levity between us about monkeys. And plus, it fits in perfectly with the first movie we may be talking about this week.
We got several good movies for you coming up. Nobody, God vs. Godzilla, some stuff from Netflix, some stuff from, direct-to-DVD. Hulu, I see, is on here. Apple TV is on here.
Absolutely.
I'm going to revisit a Gerard Butler favorite of yours. TV shows, monkeys, and more.
Woohoo! Gerard Butler makes his presence known. So
go ahead. To kick this banger off.
Well, you introduced this. This is the perfect for you. I will do it because I enjoyed the heck out of this one. It's called Godzilla versus Kong. In a time when monsters walk the earth, communities fight for its future sets Godzilla and Kong on a collision course that'll see the most powerful forces of nature on the planet collide in a spectacular battle of the ages. This has Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, Alexander Skarsgård, BRYAN Tyree Henry, Julian Dennison, Damon Bashir, and Kyle Chandler. My God, man. This was on one of my top movies to watch. This is one of the ones. I'm glad I'm able to check this bad boy off the list. It has everything I've ever wanted in a confrontational film. I'm just going to be honest. If you come for script, throw that out the window. I'm not talking about all the other crazy things that should have, there's no character development. Why are there people there? I really don't care either. I just came for the monkey. I came for the lizard, and boy, did I get them, and they delivered. I think
now.
And the monkey delivered. I tell you what, they both delivered this show. It was unbelievable. Throw everything out the window. I've watched this 2 times. My cousin's watched it 5 times. It is just, to me, you don't need the humans. We don't need any of that good stuff, as I've said. You just don't need them. You just need the monkey, the lizard, and maybe some mystical world that we get to discover as well. So there may be more mythical monsters on their way. I can't wait. I'm excited, by God, and the world has to agree as well, because yes, this was put out on HBO Max in the States, but it was released out there in the world. It's huge gangbusters in China. I think the reason is because it blows up Hong Kong, and China hates Hong Kong at the moment, so everyone's watching Hong Kong's poor demise. But I have to say, this movie, if you want a fun, packed action film where you just want to watch some good old-fashioned monkey on lizard action, and not the way you're getting dirty with me there, Jordan, but just beating each other up, this is the movie for you. What were your thoughts on this? Because I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I mean, I'm gonna be with you, but definitely on a calmer level. It was good. It was fine. Like you said, the humans are here just because you can't have 2 hours of just a CGI fight. You need a little bit of build there, and they're not horrible. There's some fun with Millie and Brian Tyree, who's a crazy podcaster who's correct evidently. So, pretty much. Yeah. So he's not that crazy actually. And they shoehorn in a little bit of like a backstory with him real quick and. Like again at the end, you don't really know much about Skarsgård and Chandler's barely in this thing, so yeah, that was fine. And you do get the CGI fight, you do get what you want. I do feel fulfilled to a large degree. Again, is it going to be did it live up to expectations? Maybe not. It's a movie I've kind of wanted my whole life because I remember my mom telling me that they did a Kong vs. Godzilla back in the day, and I'm like, so yeah. Redo it, and it finally took me about 30 years to see it. So. We finally saw it. It was good. Maybe on the big screen. I do think I might have bumped it up even more if I was able to on the big screen. But yeah. for an afternoon, for even a night, it's fun.
The funny thing is, as this thing's been out, I've learned a little bit more. Lance Reddick is in the film, right? Everyone loves Lance Reddick. He's a great actor. He's only in it for like less than 2 minutes, right? And he still gets top billing in the cast because that's how his act was supposed to be. He was supposed to be in it for a little longer, but they had to cut the humans out because they wanted to squeeze more stuff in. And so he would have been in more often. But, I think that was a funny little side note. But all in all, I'm telling you, for the genre of what it is, I'm not saying, it's going to hold the test of time like some of our great movies that we have in the world today, but I am going to give you 5 snowflakes for this film. It's well worth the watch. I enjoy the hell out of it, and enjoy the ride. It may be stupid to some, but it's just pure movie magic for me.
And I thought I was going to be too generous at 3.5. 3.5 is all I can give this thing. It's fun. It is worth checking out. If you're interested in what it's called, go check it out. But I don't know about 5, my friend.
5, my friend. 5.
I'm going to check the producer credits, make sure your name's not on there.
I hope it was, but it's not. It was not part of a Kickstart campaign.
Well, this next movie, we have no lizards or dinosaurs or monster apes, but we do have a nobody. The next movie is Nobody. Hutch Mansell, a suburban dad, overlooked husband, nothing neighbor, a nobody. When 2 thieves break into his home one night, Hutch's unknown, long-simmering rage is ignited and propels him on a brutal path that will uncover dark secrets he fought to leave behind. This stars Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, Christopher Lloyd, Alexei Sarabayakov. I was hoping you would get to say that name. Michael Ironside and the RZA represent Wu-Tang. It sounded whiter just now. Represent the Wu-Tang. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
So yeah, I dug this, man. From the trailer, I was like, I think I said to you after we saw it, I was like, man, 10 years ago, if you had said, hey, by the way, Bob Odenkirk's going to be an action star, I don't think I would have believed you. But you believe him here, man. And this is the perfect role for him, too, because it starts off, Monday through Friday, it's just, mundane life. And after the initial incident, too, his son kind of looks down on him because, he stopped them from going further, stopping the original thieves. And then it builds up, man. And I think we mentioned, too, offside, like, I like the fact that, he's not perfect, especially at first. Like, he's knocking off the dust. He's, at that first big fight, he's getting his ass kicked as much as kicking ass. But there's some really fun moments there. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Christopher Lloyd too is a lot of fun too. I enjoyed him.
Absolutely.
So as it went along too, because at first I was like, oh, it's a throwaway, old dad role, but he gets to have some fun too. And even when the RZA finally pops up. So yeah, I had a good time here, man. There's a lot of similar elements to John Wick, which there's some familiar people behind the scenes of this as well. So you can see that resemblance, including even a lot of gold coins again. But it's fun, man. Again, this is fun. This is where I'm going to give it a little bit of a higher rating. What do you think?
Great Scott! got there, Jordan. Let me tell you, I was so happy to see Christopher Lloyd in this part. Like you said, I thought it was going to be one of those as well, a throwaway, and then he just made, such a great, I would like to see a spinoff if we can of the RZA character and Christopher Lloyd. But yeah, I will want to watch a sequel to this, bar none. Again, we had seen now 2 back-to-back fabulous films. I mean, just fun, attention-getting films in which you can sit back and enjoy the ride. And at first, you're this. He's an unassuming guy, Bob Odenkirk, and this character, and Hutch is just basically, a boring, 9-to-5 dad, comes in late, comes out, loveless marriage, he's just lost. He couldn't find himself. And then, all of a sudden, one night, a burglary, it just changes everything for him. And it's all over a kitty bracelet. Don't forget, the kitty bracelet is what started this whole fiasco. Yeah, and I enjoyed this. Again, shades of John Wick. The Russians are always involved, but I still love it. And I want to hear your take on the 5 on the scale, because mine's probably going to be just as generous as yours with this one. I'm very happy with it. I want to see more.
Yeah, no, I mean, some minor grips here and there, but if you just go by fun level, man, I'm giving it a 4.
Well, see, I'm a little bit more generous than you. I am going to dig into my little pocket. 4.5. I knocked it because we've seen the formula played out with John Wick, but just a little shade different. But I still went with 4.5. Still a fun ride. Almost 5 if you wouldn't have had the Russians, made them somebody different maybe. But hey, if the mold ain't broken, use it again. And so, and that's what this writer is doing. And I read another article again with him interviewed, and he's pleased as punch with the comparison to this film being like John Wick. He's like, hey, if only I could have 2 great franchises. You know what I'm saying? That's unbelievable.
Nobody to somebody next fall.
Absolutely, and of course the spinoff with RZA and the dad. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. The next one we're going to come up with is I saw this on Netflix. I don't know, but you saw it, so you're going to tell me all about it. Thunder Force. In a world where supervillains are commonplace, 2 estranged childhood best friends reunite after one devises a treatment that gives them powers to protect their city. This stars Melissa McCarthy, Octavia Spencer, Jason Bateman, Bobby Cannavale, Melissa Leo, Palm I'm awful with that. Clementif, there we go. And Tyler. Well, I'm going to go with yours. It sounds closer. Taylor Mosby and Ben Falcone. The only one I thought would be endearing in this whole part would be Jason Bateman. So tell me how this goes.
Well, I will say, excuse me, off the bat, you're kind of right. The best part of this is McCarthy and Bateman's relationship. He's half lobster or crab or whatever, and there's some funny moments with that. They make it work to where it's the reason. Probably the reason their scenes is why I'm going to give it as good of a review as I am, and I'm not giving it that great of a review. But they're the reasons I am not giving any less. Some stuff works, some stuff really doesn't here, man. Again, I'm going to plead to Melissa. I know this sounds horrible. Find another director outside of your husband. It's another Ben Falcone movie. It's the same people that did the last one on HBO Max, Superintelligence, which was like a 2, and Tammy, which is like a 2, and this is a 2-star movie. It's a spoiler review. It's a 2-star movie. There's some stuff that works that I liked. I thought about giving that extra half, but overall, there's some cutesy moments. I enjoyed her and Bateman here, but there's enough that doesn't work. There's of course even the way she gets her powers too is one of my biggest pet peeves. Is this billion-dollar industry has no security and she somehow gets the antidote because she's not supposed to have it. I always love that too. Like really, this thing that might save the world. They don't have like a security guard standing in front of the door. Nobody. They can't afford a $10 an hour security guard.
Well, it's almost like the Death Star in that big protruding hole that they could have just covered up with a patch. They just shoot right in it. Just go and shoot there.
You know, or
Yeah.
like when they're on this day and they're like, oh, there's no life forms on there. Don't they know about
Yeah.
droids? Or do missiles cost money? Like, roll up anyway. Anyway,
Yeah.
but that's just a side point though. Unfortunately, it just didn't make you laugh enough. It doesn't make you care enough about the characters of the villains. It's all right. I mean, it never gets past that point of all rightness. So it's a 2-star. It's another Ben Falcone McCarthy 2-star.
That's a shame because it did, when I read
I
the
like the
premise,
premise. When I
I
first announced the premise on the show, I was like, oh, what's
yeah,
a hero? Cool.
yeah,
I'm
I
a
thought it would be a good,
Ghostbuster.
yeah, I thought it would be a great show. Then I saw the preview and I was really hesitant on that, and so I kind of just pulled away. Thank God you took the bullet, sir. Uh, that's all I can say about that.
All right, let's see. You had that. Let's go with the next one here. Also on Netflix, and we are going couldn't drastically differ in movies if you tried. Pieces of a Woman. When a young mother's home birth ends in unfathomable tragedy, she begins a year-long odyssey of mourning that fractures relationships with loved ones in this deeply personal story of a woman learning to live alongside her loss. This stars Vanessa Kirby, Shia LaBeouf, Ellen Burstyn, Molly Parker, Benny Safdie, and Eliza Schlesinger. Have you seen this one yet?
I have not. I have heard mixed reviews, but I've heard
Really?
it also. It kind of blocks, I believe, Vanessa Kirby is the main star in this film, right?
Yeah, I mean she's in the number one, yeah, but a
Yeah,
good.
I heard that because of Shia LaBeouf's antics that came around, it hurt her chances to be nominated and a few other things for that film to
Oh,
be
I hope
recognized.
not. I think it hurt his chances because he's. And I'm not making any stance on what if he's innocent or not.
Oh
I'm
no,
just simply
no, no! We're
going
not
by
taking that stance.
performance. No, no, I'm just saying. I'm just simply going by performance. He's really good as well. He, I think, could have had definitely a shot as well if it was, I mean, different timing if that didn't come up. Ellen Burstyn's really good as well here. There's some great moments with those two. Great moments with Shyla and Vanessa. We have Vanessa here is the reason. At first, it's a very much, a walk of life in their shoes kind of movie. But you see, I think in that last kind of hour, last half an hour, why Vanessa Kirby got the nomination. She got the nomination. It is Oscar nominated for her. So if you want to watch it for Sunday, maybe because she is great here, man. And this thing is heart wrenching. That's why I said this is such the opposite. If you're on Netflix and to go from Thunder Force to this, because this thing is heart wrenching. It is tough, man. The first shot is almost like a continuous shot. I don't think it is, but it plays like it is. 30 minutes of the home birth that goes wrong.
Oh,
And then you get the credits. I remember looking at the stopwatch and it was like exact 30 minutes in. And I also don't know that too. And in a weird way, I actually wish that wasn't in the plot because I didn't know. I walked into this thing very cold. Maybe saw a trailer like a year
yeah.
ago or 6 months ago. I don't know. But I walked into this very, very cold. So I didn't know what I was getting into. I just watched it because it's Oscar nominated and I like Shia, sadly.
Yeah. Well, I do too. Unfortunately, I can't cancel everybody. Jeez.
We'll see, man. We'll see. So I think it's really well worth checking out, man. There, like I said, it's tough. Watch it with the right frame of mind and know what you're getting into. But I'm giving
Okay.
this one. This is another 4-star movie here. Definitely
Okay.
worth checking out. Just fantastic stuff from the main three here. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I will get a shot at it, and I will watch it. Guaranteed you. The next one we're going to talk about, again, you watched this one. I never got around to it, but I have seen the previews. It looks kind of interesting. So, breaking news in Yuba County. An overlooked pencil pusher catches her husband in bed with another woman, the shock of which causes him to die of a heart attack. Then, so she buries his body and takes advantage of the growing celebrity status that comes with having a missing husband. This has Allison Janney, Regina Hall, Aquafina, I love her. Mila Kunis, Wanda Sykes, Matthew Modine, and Jimmy Simpson. Tell me everything meshes and everything goes well with this movie because it has a great cast.
Nothing goes well as far as plot wise. This is definitely one of those movies where just everybody is making the wrong decision and doing the wrong thing with the wrong people, and sometimes not even knowingly giving them the wrong info, which leads to this, that leads to that, which leads to this. And also, too, in a way, the movie also doesn't really go right either, in my opinion. Here, the tone is it's off for me, man. Because as you said, I love Aquafina. I love all these fun character actors that are in this here. Regina Hall, and it's almost like a sitcom that all of a sudden wants to go Pulp Fiction on you and wants to go super bloody, and like there's several deaths in this, and like if
Oh,
there, it's just kind of disheartening, and I really don't like the ending too. The ending does not win me over either. This was a disappointment, man, because based on the cast, I was actually relatively excited for this. I was a Janny in the leading role. Mila Kunis is wasted. You know what I mean? Anyone could have played her part. And again, there's a lot of bad decisions that just lead to kind of contrived plot elements. And again, just the tone bothered me here. I'm down for a bloody R-rated movie, but you gotta. This just didn't work. You know what I mean? Nobody's a good example of finding that right tone of comedy and then R-rated bloodiness. This didn't for me, and it was disappointment. Definitely, it has its moments, but I'm even struggling to even give that extra half. I'm gonna say just 2 stars again. I really struggled with going any higher than that for this movie.
well, okay. Well, the question is, where did you pick this up? There's a VOD out there, or is it on like
I believe
a
yeah, you
streaming
just gotta
platform?
do VOD, or you can be weird like me and restart your. Let's see if I have one near me. Oh, it's over there. Your Netflix DVD
Yeah.
subscription. You
Ah.
got to buy that.
You are the one that keeps the Netflix going with their DVD section. The next one I believe I've watched. I don't know if you've got a chance. It's over on Hulu. It's a documentary called Kid 90. It's a look at young Hollywood stars growing up in the 1990s using hundreds of hours of footage captured by a teenage Soleil Moonfry. This stars, of course, Soleil Moonfry, Stephen Dorff, David Arquette, Brian Austin Green, Mark Paul Gosselaar, and Heather McComb. This is a interesting documentary in which she puts it together. She basically wants to put this out. She has kids now, and she basically was cleaning out some attic or something, and she came up with some, you know. She started watching and reading her diary. She kept very, very precise diaries. There's a shocking thing where we find that she may or may have not had underage sex with Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was, during that era, and but it seems like they're implicating that Charlie Sheen and her did hook up when she was a minor, and about how she was out of control. Everyone during that period was, doing drugs or just, kind of living their own bubble of what the 90s were. And of course they talk about the loss of some of their friends that they had, the actors that during that period who've later committed suicide, and unfortunate, tragedies like that young man. I can't remember his name, but they're off of that show Kids. uh, it was like I said, it was just a good documentary. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it was still intriguing enough for me to have my attention throughout it. It's well worth it. There's Mark McGrath. They talked briefly about him. I didn't even know he was anything in the 90s when he was a kid. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, I gave this one a 3.5. It's worth the watch. It's on Hulu, and you won't be disappointed if you watch it. It just shows you that she's comfortable in her skin enough, and how she was treated during the period when she was like 12 or 13, and she started to get her bosoms, and people started all of a sudden act like she should be dressing very scantily, to show them off and stuff like that. But then she took control of her own career, got a breast reduction. It was very interesting. Like I said, a very interesting documentary. Catch that on Hulu.
And just for proof, yeah, they do exist still. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, look at that. It's called
Willy's
DVD.
Wonderland with Nicolas Cage review coming next week.
Oh, my friend. Oh, I really want to watch that one. You know what? I really do. I will
Start
watch
your
that.
DVD subscription.
No. I'm gonna just VOD it, and I will have my review next week as well, because I will watch that show. I've been wanting to watch that, so I think now it's down in price. It was $19.99 for a while. I'm like, no, I'm not paying $19.99. I will pay $3.99, but that. So anyway.
Well, we're gonna continue your documentaries now. As we move over to the Who? No, Apple TV.
Apple TV. Yep. Apple
Before,
Plus.
no, Apple TV. Apple Plus. Thank you. Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, taking a deeply personal look at the extraordinary teenager Billie Eilish and following her journey on the road, on stage, and at home with her family as she is writing and recording her debut album, that changes her life. This stars, hey, wow, Billie Ellish.
Yeah.
Billie Ellish. And then Justin Bieber's in this evidently as well. This is another documentary I did not see. So talk to me about Blurry.
It starts off slow, so hang in there. Because I think the first half hour is kind of slow. Then it starts building as it goes up, and it's just basically it's just an inner look at what was around her, how she had to hide her boyfriend, and then she had a boyfriend, but then we got to see who her first boyfriend was, basically, ever, it seems, and how they break up, and also the pressures that are put on such a young person at this age. I think at the time she was 16, 17, and now she's like 18, I believe now, so it might be 16. And so she was, working with her brother. They talk about how they have just a perfect chemistry amongst themselves, and the family unit is 100% supportive. They try to keep her as grounded as possible. She still lives in her family home that she grew up in during the shoot of this, and I don't know if she still does, but her parents still have the same house. And it's just basically her growing into what she has become, a celebrity now, and how it sometimes it's hard for her to get, the pressures, like one moment she's just not in the mood and she has to be in the mood for a photo shoot with total stranger. She has no clue, but they're making her do it. You know what I'm saying? So, and even her family, she basically yells at everybody saying, look, I understand I have to do this, but I don't like it all the time. I just want some time for me. And and it was kind of like she wasn't prepared for it, I guess. And so that's why she was upset. And I don't blame them. I know this is what you want as a celebrity. You want your fan base to grow, and you want this to happen or that to happen. But at the same time, you're still a kid and you want to be protected. And I think her parents have done the best they can to help protect her. Her brother is lucky enough to be with her as well, who helps spearhead and produce the albums, but he also helps protect her along the lines by just giving advice. So I think it's a great documentary. I'm going to pull up my rating here because I cannot remember. I gave this a 4 because it was actually well worth it. It's a great ride. The reason why Justin Bieber shows up is she has a big crush. She said that, even when she was like 11 or 12 or 13, whatever, she says, I love Justin Bieber. I want to marry Justin Bieber. And then all of a sudden she meets him for the first time at Coachella and nearly almost like has a panic attack, because she's so excited, to meet him. And it's just like what everybody else would, like whenever you meet your childhood hero.
And he was like, baby, oh.
No, he was just like, good job, because he watched her. It was just a good meet moment, and I think they're still friends, and he helps her, like probably, which is a good thing in a way. Somebody communicates with her. It sounds like not on a daily basis, but just does keep in touch with her, try to help her out where he was failed. You know what I'm saying? So that's an important thing. So four snowflakes for the Billie Ellish, The World's a Little Blurry.
Very good.
Okay, and finally, I say, I got your text. You said I'm finally pulling the trigger, and I'm like, Gerard, thanks you. This movie, I can't believe you took this long, but it's called Greenland. John Garrity, his estranged wife, and their young son embark on a perilous journey to find a sanctuary as a planet-killing comet hurtles toward Earth. Amid terrifying accounts of cities getting leveled, the Garrity's experience the best and worst of humanity. This has our friend of the show, Gerard Butler, Morena Baccarin, Roger Floyd, Scott Glenn, David Dinman, Hope Davis, and Andrew Batchelor. Now, finally, I'm just excited. This must have been on that DVD thing you keep telling me about. So what was it like for you to watch such a fun, good movie?
Yeah, so I will admit, this was something that I went, nah. I like Gerard Butler. I do. Not as much as you, but I do like him. But unfortunately, he's the opposite of an actor where I go, oh, he's in it? Good. I go, oh, he's in it? I don't know. Because I don't think he does very good things always. And I think I legitimately just lumped this in with Geostorm. I don't think I even knew that there was a difference. I thought maybe this was retitled. I don't even feel like I literally gave it so little thought about both movies. So I just went nah. But then with your review and then also hearing another review, I was like, oh okay, and I did like it. I liked that this wasn't just explosions and driving, and this was about the characters here, and that's what I kind of care about. You care about this family by the end of the movie, and even quickly, even by halfway, you care about this family. These main three, the stumbles they come across. If she had just waited 5 minutes by the car, you could have avoided a lot of shit. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm with you. Why did she wait?
10 minutes be no movie, but then again, there'd be no movie. So,
Yeah.
You get the fun stuff with David Denham, who's evil, a really good evil guy.
Yeah.
Pam's ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance from The Office. And yeah, you know what I mean. I pretty much went along with it here. I'm not giving it a glowing review by any means, because there is some cliched stuff here, and then the ending's okay. But I do want to say this and it's in the premise. I did enjoy the fact too that it showed evil. There's evil in it, Denham, and even Gerard comes across, the back of the truck evil.
Yeah.
There's good in it too. I like that more than once there was humanity in it. You know what I mean? Like the van just pulls up and lets her in, and like other times with Andrew Bachelor and them giving him medicine. Like I like the fact that it showed both. I hate movies where it's just everyone's evil out to kill you. This showed humanity as well. They're like, no, there would be people that would, hey man, get in my car, let's go.
Yeah. Especially that one scene where they had the little mini that mini meteorite spot where they're all under the bridge area.
Yeah.
And they were all hiding, and they helped pull that one guy from the car as it was still raining meteorites. I thought that it shows you that there are good people in this world, not all like Negan.
And I like the fact too that it wasn't even just Butler. Like one or two more people joined him. You know what I mean? It wasn't just Butler's heroic moment. Like there was other like random people also going like, oh shit, let's try to get this person from this car. Like that's what I mean. That's what built it up for me more, is the fact that you want to see them get to safety. You want to, you know what I mean? And then I like the fact that there was humanity as well as evil too, to keep it interesting here. So it's not a great review. I'm gonna give it 3. It's still watchable. It's fun. It's above that, that recommendation mark. You know what I mean? And it did surpass my expectations. It's a fun movie. It's a fun flick. And Butler's good in it. He is good.
Hey. I just want to say you're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
That was a review. Once I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. Because I like that. I mean, this is all from their perspective. For instance, when that first explosion happens, you don't see it from the city. You see it from their perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I like that it was a little more homegrown.
Yeah, and like you said, character development was key. If you didn't care for the characters, the movie would have been a throwaway. But that's always a good thing. So. The next segment we got, we are going to talk our television. Yes, new shows, old shows, and some gems that we found. I found over a gem that I found actually, not me personally, but somebody. But the first one is the new A&E biography. This one was just on. I did not watch it because I don't have A&E. I don't pay for that cable, But you did. It had Stone Cold Steve Austin and as his opening deal. So tell me about it. And is it as good as the old biographies used to be?
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, this is actually a fun time to be a wrestling fan on A&E, because the next show I'm going to talk about is also wrestling related. Plus, they were on Pawn Stars and Forged in Fire. They're all over the place, evidently. But the biography is back, and they're doing wrestlers for the next several weeks. We start off with Stone Cold. Next week is Rowdy Piper. We have Booker T coming up, I believe. So this is good, man. I mean, it's I think it's more than an hour, I think an hour and a half or 2 hours, maybe. And yeah, it goes through the life of Stone Cold. My only small complaint is, if you're like a diehard fan like me, it's kind of a Rolodex of a lot of stuff how he got his name and the Ringmaster, and WCW firing him and ECW, and so it was a lot of like yep. But I think even if you're not a wrestling fan, if you are kind of just interested in an interesting tale of this, this kid from Texas who worked his ass off, and there was some interesting background stuff too that I almost wish they delved in more on, which was like his relationship with his daughters and how he didn't get to spend that much. There's a really a sad, great scene where he's like, one time I called my daughter who used to have a Texas accent, and she now had a London accent. He had because they moved to London during 9/11 and whatnot and stayed there, and she had and he's like, wow, that's when he knew he had to maybe try to have a better relationship with them, and how he found podcasting. So there was stuff I didn't know of as well. So really well done here, man. They have the right people talking. You get interviews from everyone that's important. Him as well. So yeah, if you like wrestling, I think even if you don't, if you just want an interesting biography, that we're checking out.
See, that's a good thing. I love A&E returning back to the old roots. Remember, they used to have, I don't know if you remember, but they used to have about actors and actresses and the A&E biography. And I love them because they gave you something like you're getting with this one as well. It sounds good background information to at least see these people as who they are, a person. So the next one you're going to cover is WWE's Most Wanted Treasures. A&E has decided to become the next WWE network, it seems. So what's going on with this, and what's this whole show about?
So this one, maybe you need to be a little bit more of a wrestling fan for, because this is basically, in the last several years, Triple H has helped kind of push this as well. They've opened up the warehouse and the archival unit. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, it seemed like they'd sell stuff, auction it off, stuff like that. And now they're kind of saying, hey, let's find Ric Flair's iconic black robe. Let's find, a vintage Cactus Jack shirt. And so that's what it is. Each week they're taking a wrestler, this week Mick Foley, and he's going to different fans' houses and trying to get these items back. And in this one, he's looking for an OG Cactus Jack shirt and like an original Mr. Sacco, stuff like that. And also the other part of it too is the haggling part, because sometimes they want more than just money, you know what I mean? So he's got to do, an exclusive tour, or he promises to, have a viewing party with them, so that's kind of fun as well here, and it's nostalgia. This is one where maybe you need to be a fan a little bit more, because it's nostalgia just raining in of like, oh, all these moments, and these fans, you see all their collections. I thought I had a good collection. Some of these fans they visit, oh my God, put me to shame with the amount of stuff they have. So it's fun. I think it's a cute show. I love it. I think if you're a wrestling fan, you'll love it as well. So if you are, check it out. But I think, again, we're checking out one way or the other.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I like the fact, and if you actually stumble anything across a Rick Rude, I'll be honest, his family doesn't have any of his stuff anymore. Honky Tonk Man. What was funny is Honky Tonk Man actually is as crazy, as batshit crazy as he is anymore. But he is upset because all he did back then was throw it away. He didn't know it was worth money. He threw a lot of his gear out. And so who knows if there was dumpster divers back then saying, hey, look, I found an Elvis thing, and it happens to be a Honky Tonk Man thing. But, I just find it, I love the fact that this memorabilia is out there still being cherished and loved. And I love how they found them.
I've been meaning to look. I think I have the Rock's rookie card literally somewhere in my closet, and it's worth a few hundred schmeckles. So you'll diving into my closet soon. You
better go find that, and get that schmeckle or two.
I'm not joking either.
No, I don't mind that at all. I have an Eric Rowan rookie card. How much is that worth? Anyway.
Not much. If you have the Wyatt family, other than him, but if you have Wyatt, maybe.
Well, I have Bray Wyatt, his rookie, Husky Harris, I believe. Anyway, maybe one or two. But so the next one we're going to talk about, again, I've never heard of this show. It's called The Moodies over there on Fox Network. The lovely kids at Fox. Who's in it? What's this about?
So this is actually technically season 2. I believe it was here's where I'm going to give you half information. It was a limited run about them at Christmas last year, and it did good enough to where they now just have a normal show now. Dennis Leary's the dad, Elizabeth Perkins the mom. 3 kids, I think, Jay Baruchel being one of them. So that's why I came in here for. I like Leary. He seems to go from show to show now. He had Rescue Me for a while, then he had that look Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll for a couple of seasons. Now he's on this, and I like Baruchel as well here, man. I've always wished for him to kind of have more sometimes. So it's good. I like it. You know what I mean? It's got a little bit of an edge, but not too much in a weird way. So it worth checking out. I think if you're looking for a sitcom. You know what I mean? It's more than one camera. It's actually well shot in, different locations. So.
Okay, so you could probably kick it up on Hulu since it's a Fox Network show. So you should be able to find it somewhere on Hulu. Yeah. The next one we show is, again, I have this network, haven't seen it, Made for Love. Tell me, is this something I should be watching? Who's in it?
I think you should give it a shot. It's an interesting premise here. Kristen Milioti, who was the mother who ended up dying on How I Met Your Mother, and Palm Springs as well here. So it's a little bit of a time jumper here. I've only seen the first 3 episodes here, but it's definitely told to my interest so far. There's a lot of background stuff, her and her strange relationship with Ray Romano, and then the main plot is the boyfriend is developing this some sort of like technology where he can always see what she sees, and you see that's why she's flipping him off, and she's trying to run away from him, and just her trying to kind of get away from this guy, but then also showing that there was good times as well here. So it's an interesting one. HBO Max, definitely it had to be on a more mature network here. So I think it's worth giving it a shot, man. Like I said, give it a couple episodes. If it doesn't hook you, then move on. But I thought the first couple were interesting, and it is something I will continue with.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear. I just was like, I might have saw it, but I haven't really paid attention to it yet. So I thank you for bringing that to my attention. The next one we're going to talk about is Chad, TBS Network. If for those who have the TBS Network, which I don't, what is this about? Again, because these are brand new shows, and you're bringing new things to me. I need to know.
So this one's an interesting one. This reminds me of Pen 15 on Hulu to a degree, because you have the
Sorry, I love that show.
It is, and it definitely has that sense of humor here. Except this time now the older actress is now a boy. It's Asim Pedrad, who was I thought she was kind of a scene stealer in SNL for a couple of years. She was on there, and as much as I hated her movie on Netflix a couple of years ago, like she is someone that like she attracts me in anything she's in, because I think she's really good, and she's even said in interviews like she loves being like a boy or ugly or a monster, you know what I mean? Like she loves like just going for the comedy here, and she's definitely what makes this work. She's the most interesting part here. She's kind of a selfish, self-centered 12-year-old boy here who's kind of figuring things out, and there's usually several chuckles per show here, some awkwardness. Again, a little bit edgier. It's not the most PG show, but not to say it's super crazy or anything, but just saying like I like that it's not totally cookie cutter, and kind of like Pen 15. I would say I like Pen 15 more, but this could grow to being something for sure.
Oh, okay, that's great to hear. The next one I'm going to talk about, I discovered this through word of mouth. It's been out for a long time. It's already done. It's 4 seasons. I know that kind of breaks some of the rules that we talk about, but it's well worth the watch. It's on Prime. You can also get it on PBS if you are a member. You can get it there. It's called The Durrells, and what they do is basically I'm in season 2 right now. There's 4 seasons, and it's just a fun little show about an English family whose mother gives up in England after her husband dies, and she moves all her family to Corfu, Greece. It's a little island in Greece, and so it's basically a bunch, these 5 English people trying to make it in the Greek countryside, and it's just them learning to adapt, and it's just a fun show. It's set in about 1938. I know it probably eliminates you, Jordan, on this show, but I know, but it's a fun show, and is well worth a watch. Each character is being layered with more and more, so the character development is worth the grain that is happening, and I enjoy it. So it was a great recommend to me through some people I know. And so there we go, The Durrells. And the next one is that I'm going to talk about is The Warrior. This is on HBO Max. If you have not seen this, my cousin showed me this. He said, "You're going to watch it." I said, "It's on my watch list." He goes, "No, you're going to watch this." And I sat down, I watched it. It's from the mind of Bruce Lee. Okay, it's based on him. He had an outline of a show, and this is what has come out. It's the first full Asian cast. There are Caucasians in it, but there is set in San Francisco just right after the the Civil War, and it is just about the factions of the Irish wanting to go against the Chinese who are taking their jobs, and the Chinese are just basically just trying to survive in a white man's world, and what they do along the lines. If you love martial arts, this is the show for you. It is unbelievably shot. It's just great dialogue. It is violent. There's some sex, but it's just well worth the watch. If you have time, take a gander over on HBO Max for this show. There's 2 seasons up. Again, I would never have known this, but this is off their sister network, Cinemax. Who subscribes to Cinemax? Nobody. So this is a great introduction that they have put over on HBO Max. Again, 2 seasons right now. I'm just starting the first, and I am loving every minute of it. The next one is Topher Grace's return back to comedy over on ABC. It is Topher Grace. He is in home economics. He's a struggling writer. And his family, basically, I can't remember names to save my life. You're better at that than I am. His brother is a rich dude. Jimmy Patrick, he's as funny as ever, but he's so rich he doesn't understand how much money he has. And Topher wants to write a book, but he needs money, so his character borrows money from his older brother. But the book is about his family and about how dysfunctional they truly are, and so he's hiding the reasoning for the book. It's a great eclectic cast. It's just a fun. I think it's a single cam show. And it's just a unbelievably good, funny, wholesome television show, and it's well worth the watch. Topher Grace said the reason why he showed up for this show was he was starting to be typecast as a angry skinhead Nazi kind of guy. Because he was in the last couple films, he's been a very racist individual. Then he says, I needed to step away from all that because I kept all of a sudden getting nothing but offers of being a Nazi bad guy. And I don't want to be a bad guy. I want to make people laugh. And so he's back on this show, and I hope ABC gives it a good run because so far the episodes that I have seen, well worth the watch. So if you haven't seen it, check it out on ABC, Home Economics.
It is something I do plan on checking out. Again, man, like you just said, ABC, don't F me because single parents and speechless and all the other things you
yes
too early. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid falling in love, man. I'm afraid to put my heart out there. So ABC, don't do it.
Yeah, especially the one with Zach Braff. You just named it, I believe, right?
I didn't. That was Alex Inc. That got even.
Alex Inc. Yeah,
single parents got like 2 or 3. Alex Inc. got 1.
Yeah, and I was like, Alex Inc. was my I love that show. It was a great, endearing show. I think if they had to do it over again, maybe they would have kept it, but we'll see. So, what else is coming up here, buddy?
I believe we're about to talk some monkey business.
Oh, let's talk about the monkey business. Oh, yeah. So that girl you met the other night, is that the monkey business we're talking? Oh, no one kisses and tells on this show. Tell me later. Anyway, so what are we doing with the monkeys then?
You tell me. You set this up.
Are we spanking monkeys?
Stop it.
Are we throwing feces at each other virtually?
Stop it.
Okay, it's top 10 monkey movies. Yes, monkeys have roles in films. Sometimes they're minor. Sometimes they're major. Sometimes they have a real reason to be there, and they're just to help move the plot along. Well, we found out top 10 films in which monkeys either starred heroically or maybe caused some mischief, and maybe you're the bad guy. We don't know. It all depends. But we did top 10 monkey films. I just thought that would be fun to do, like I said, because I really didn't really have an idea.
I can tell. Kiss Ed. Mwah.
So, who wants to go first? You want to go first? I'll let you go first.
Sure.
Because you have honorable mentions. I have no honorable mentions. I just have
no honorables. I played around the list because I was trying to pick things that actually featured a monkey in a good role. Because there's a couple of great movies that I could shoehorn in, but I didn't. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll disagree with the list. I have no idea.
We'll see.
monkeying around. My number 10 is The Hangover 2. There's a monkey in it.
Yes, there is a monkey. He is a very viable subject in that movie.
Same monkey as the one from I don't think I had it on my list. I almost did. Night at the Museum, the one that messes him with Ben Stiller in that one. So the monkey is a famous monkey.
Yep.
It is a pivotal plot to Hangover 2. Hangover always has, its little gimmicks, whether it's a tattoo face or a tiger or cameos from Mike Tyson. And this time they're like, hey, what's funny? A monkey. It is a funny movie, as everyone has kind of pointed out. It's a bit of a retread. It felt like they copy and pasted and went, okay, instead of this crazy thing, this cameo, this cameo. This time he has a tattoo instead of a tooth missing. Like all sorts of things like that. So it's still a fun, worthy time. It's actually something I haven't revisited, I think, since it originally came out. So Hangover 2. There's the monkey. There you go. I'm glad I talked long enough to show you the monkey.
Absolutely, you got to have the monkey scene. My number 10 came out in 1988. And it's all about monkeys. You can't miss a monkey. You have to throw a rock, and you still hit a monkey. Why would you throw rocks at monkeys? Especially gorillas. It's called Gorillas in the Mist with Sigourney Weaver, where she plays the scientist Jane Goodall, and about how she basically was brought in to a monkey or a gorilla tribe, we'll call them. And so years and years, she stayed out there and just studied these gorillas, and people thought she was crazy for doing this. That they have no social skills. There's nothing about them. Without somebody like Jane Goodall going out there into the wild, gorillas would have just had such a bad reputation of being savages. But it shows that there are a lot of tenderness, there's a lot of love, and they bring her into the fold. So worth watching, and it brought up a poaching and stuff like that up to the forefront for people who did not know this was happening. So if you want to watch a good Sigourney Weaver film and you want to learn something that you maybe not known, this helped bring it to the forefront. Gorillas in the Mist from 1988.
Very nice. She got Oscar nominated for that, didn't she?
Yes. I don't know if she won, but I know she did get nominated.
All right, very good. I have not seen it. Maybe someday. I do love me some Sigourney Weaver. I know there's definitely some gaps in my Sigourney Weaver history. All right.
The Solar Opposites, love Sigourney Weaver as well.
Yes. Coming up right now at number 9 here. It's a movie that you mentioned, and yeah, you're right. I saw it and I liked it. Dunstan Checks In. There's a couple kid movies here that are fond of my heart that are going to make the list here. One's going to be obviously a little bit higher. Hey man, what more do you want as a kid? Sometimes, even as an adult, you just want a fun monkey thing. Like even today, if you told me, hey man, can I sell you a monkey? I think about it. I would think about it for a little while because you think you'd get into crazy adventures like this, and then you realize they're just really shitty animals that will throw shit on you. But yes. Movies make you want a monkey here. All the fun hijinks in the hotel. Jason Alexander, fun role. Paul Rubens. So number 9, good old Dunstan.
My number 9 is a most recent film, one that you've probably not seen yet, and I don't know why you haven't. It's on Hulu. It's Dora the Explorer. Of course, we all know Boots the monkey. Boots the monkey is Dora's sidekick. He helps her out whatever she needs, and I enjoyed that. It was just a fun little monkey, little Reese monkey, I believe. So it's a like I said, it's like your monkey that you like. It's the same monkey basically. I think the same family. But yeah, that's what we have. We have Dora the Explorer, and Boots.
I'll wait until we do what's Swiper? What is he?
Swiper's a fox.
Once we do a top 10 Fox movies, I'll talk about it. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Next week.
All right, coming in my number 8. I figured it's a different franchise than the one I'll talk about later, so I will let 2 of them slide in. Kong Skull Island from a few years back here. Another one where you can kind of gripe a little bit about characters here. Do we ever learn anything about Hiddleston and Bree? No, but like there's some fun stuff with Goodman and Jackson and all the other side characters. And like you said earlier, man, this checked off boxes of just seeing a big monkey destroy some shit. And there's some great opening scene here, and John C. Reilly's a fun character actor that pops up for whatever reason, and I had my fun here, man. This is a movie I still kind of defend, and I think other people agree with me here too. A little bit of a polarizing one where some have their gripes, but I just had fun. It's a fun, brainless, it's a great action popcorn flick here for me, in my opinion. Here, so number 8, the first new vision of King Kong after the other new vision, which I'll talk about later.
By the way, the question I have is, where was John C. Reilly during these this Kong Godzilla film? I would have loved to seen him.
Everyone's dead or old by then.
Well, he could be an old man, why not?
He's already pretty old. I think he'd be like 90 in this, wouldn't he?
He could be. I'm just stating the facts. Let's bring him back for them. Hey, you know what? Script didn't be damned, okay? I just would like to see him in it, okay? Just bring him back. I mean, he could be how about this? He could be the son of the John C. Reilly character in the movie. How about that?
Oh, calm down.
Anyway, my number 8, I'm going to go back a little further. 1978, I still remember this. Turn Left, Clyde is one of the great things. Is Every Which Way But Loose. Yes, good old Clint Eastwood film in which he has a starring of an orangutan himself, just like Dunstan. And it's just great. There's a scene where he's in the ring and the cop pulls him over. He goes, "Turn left, Clyde," and he just boom, he just belts him. He just belts out the officer. And it's just a good comedy back in the day. Of a rough, as you can see, it's an old rough and tumble deal where he's a working man, but he's got to make some extra cash. So, but yeah, I enjoyed this movie as a kid because mostly they had a monkey in it. So there you go. Any which way but loose. There he is right there with the monkey. You cut it off just right where he's walking the monkey down the street. But yeah, it's a fun film.
Very nice. Another one I have never seen. Here's a movie I did see. I might have mentioned it before on this. My number 7 is actually legitimately my first ever theater experience, and that's Monkey Trouble.
Yes.
An adorable, not adorable, what's her name? Oh man, she still acts to this day. And you got Harvey Keitel as the evil monkey guy, and there's just a great moment in the end where it's just who's the monkey to decide with, and I just remember being so invested, like go to the little girl, monkey. And again, it's a kids movie full of hijinks with a monkey who's super adorable. I think he was drinking chocolate milk just now. How could you not want to party with this monkey here? And like I said, man, obviously this is going to be a favorite of mine because it fits right into just childhood memories of going to the Paragon Theater, which is where we just saw Nodody. That's right, Paragon was my first theater.
I'm trying to find this movie. What year did it come out? Monkey Business?
Monkey Trouble, my friend.
Monkey Trouble. I apologize. I was trying to do it, and it was Thor Birch. You were correct, sir. So don't you dare second guess yourself. You said Thor Birch. You were correct. So don't second guess yourself.
18th, 1994. So I'm not even 4 if we saw it right away.
And she was your first crush. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid.
I don't think it was 4. I think I thought she had cooties probably still at that point.
Or is the monkey? I'm not sure. I don't judge this business. Anyway, my number 7 is, even though it is my number 7, it was made in 1987, is also kind of, when you think about it, a very depressing film. But monkeys are present in this movie. It's called Project X, with Matthew Broderick, where he stumbles upon a space program and a mission to fly with monkeys, and they're doing social experiments on them with that. And it's a true story, and it is based on true facts. And it is a sad film, where they're just basically saying, "Shut up and fly boy," and don't worry about those monkeys. They don't feel a thing. That type of thing, and he becomes friends with a monkey, and it's just it just is just an unbelievable tale, and it's as you can see, a star-studded cast. Helen Hunt is in that, I believe, and a few others. But I just think it's it's a sad film at the end because you really do like the monkeys and you see them die, and it's just a sad day. But there you go, Project X. If you haven't watched it, do watch it. It'll depress you, but it's also a fun kind of show.
I never heard of this until doing research for this episode and seeing this and being like, what's Broderick and a monkey? All right, never heard of it.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's not going to be your most happy film that I recommend here, but it is a good film, and I think you should watch it, or you should at least take a look at it.
No, it's interesting. Next one here, continuing kind of my role of just things that made me smile as a youngster. I think you also might have mentioned this in the group chat. George of the Jungle,
Yeah.
1997. Brendan Fraser, another movie that I found out years later. Like a lot of critics were like, "Oh, this is just dumb filth," or not filth, but like this is just horrible. Hey man, when you're 7, what more do you want? You know what I mean? Brendan Fraser is he's at the peak of just everything he's in. I'm instantly into, and I like their relationship. There's some fun stuff with Thomas Hayden Church, I believe, and the love story, and it was cute. I dug it. I just saw Monkey play some drums, which he didn't get to see. I apologize. Good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. That movie didn't make my list, but I do remember the old cartoon. I love the old cartoons. My number 6 is it has your little monkey in there from Friends. The Friends, Marcel. It is Outbreak. I'm sorry, Outback. I got hungry all of a sudden. This number 6 is brought to you by Outback, where you can have a bloomin' onion with your family. Anyway, number 6 is Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman, Renee Russo, Morgan Freeman, and canceled Spacey. So I got to tell you, the monkey is what causes the virus, so that is the star of the show because he has the virus, and they need to find this monkey so they can make an antivirus. Antidote for everybody, kind of like this COVID thing. But it is a good movie. It's suspenseful, and it shows what happens when a pandemic goes crazy. Yes, brought to you by the Outback. My number 6.
Outback, by the way, at least the one in Naples, just changed their chicken fingers. I might have missed the old ones, but the new ones are also pretty good, just for those of you that were wondering.
Is there more meat?
They're about the same meat. It's just different kind of breading and made differently.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Sometimes they skim down the meat or they make them bigger. That type of thing. So, what is your number 5? We're halfway home, my good man.
All right, we are halfway there, Living on a Prayer. And this is one I was so excited because I didn't think about it at first, and I saw someone mention it, and I was like, yes, I can include it in the list because the monkey plays a pivotal role. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, 2001. It's funny too. I found this out in retrospect years later. They do set this up 5 years earlier in Chasing Amy. The final shot of Chasing Amy is them walking away with the monkey, and then they go, "Oh, we'll tell that story for another time." And sure enough, in 2001, they made this movie. I wonder if that was just a joke, and then they were like, "Oh shit, Kevin Smith had to write a monkey into it." But I mean, that starts it off, man. They get the monkey from Elizabeth. Shannon Elizabeth, who they think is dead, and they try to hold on to the famous monkey, and then the monkey goes missing and ends up being the killer in the next Scream movie. Is one of the jokes.
Well, this sets up the new one too with a reboot right there.
Yes, and obviously, you got to keep knowing about these characters. You see what happens with Elizabeth and Muse years later in reboot, and yeah, it's a fun road trip movie here. It's one I've seen multiple times. I do remember having to sneak and watch it in the guest room because they curse a lot, and I was afraid my parents would take away the VHS. And and they would have. I made the right decision because as soon as my mom saw my dad watch it, she went, "You're not watching this." I went, "I already did in the guest room." So, James and Bob Strike Back.
Well, that's
monkeys.
Yeah, and if you're also looking, there's also scenes, like little clues, like your buddy Christ was on the Nun's dashboard, like I have on my dashboard. So it's
movies references. Yeah, hey man, screw Avengers, man. Kevin Smith's the original multiverse.
Yeah, he's got everything. He's got little Easter eggs everywhere hidden. My number 5 is actually had a decent soundtrack as well, and it is Curious George, the movie. I was very taken aback by this. The man in the yellow hat is back, alongside his tag team colleague, the Curious Little George. It's just a fun film. I'm glad they took. That's exactly the film right there. 19. Yeah, it's just a fun film. I believe Will Ferrell is the man in the yellow hat, And it's just I don't know, it's a sweet, tender, different type of film. I liked how they did this. It wasn't like trying to bring live action with a fake monkey, that type of thing. And I thought it was just a well done, well watched for everybody. You can watch this and enjoy it immensely with your family and your friends, and you and I would sit here and giggle if you want. But yeah, it's fun to watch, and I believe Jason Mraz is one of the main guys who has a song in this one. Yeah, but it's well worth the watch. Curious George, the movie, very good.
Interesting, cool. Coming in at my number 4, not a huge monkey part, but he is. There's many animals in this, and the monkey is one of his major buddies. I think it's in the poster as well. Righty then, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective from 1994. Of course, the not even era, just at that 2-3 years of just Jim Carrey absolutely killing it, man.
Here comes the. Oh, I was thinking there was the monkey coming in.
Critics, if you look at critic reviews, I think they didn't get it, man. But dude, he's funny. He's mesmerizing here, and again, it's another one that can be definitely rewatched. That ending still is confusing and scary to me with Einhorn, but that's another discussion for another time. Not quite sure what's going on there, but just I love it to this day. I even get smiles on my face watching scenes from the trailer here. So Ace Ventura, even the opening scene of him as the UPS guy trying to switch out the dog in the package, I love.
Yeah, I enjoyed the same. I'll agree with you. I was thinking of putting this on my list, but I was like, I don't know if there's enough monkey in it, but I don't fault you for it. I don't fault you for it, my boy. So I was really thinking about it as well. And, thank you for putting it on your list. So my number 4 is 2000, I believe, 16. The Legend of Tarzan with Alice Skarsgård, probably is very underrated as a Tarzan film, I think, along with Samuel L. Jackson as his friend. But there's also monkeys in it, because he has the family that raised him in this, and it's a little better than Greystoke: The Legend of Tarzan with Christopher Lambert. I didn't like that one back in the day, but this one is to me just a very to me more truer tale to myself of what I've read when I was a kid about Tarzan, and I'm like, well, Disney actually almost made a Tarzan like this too. So with their cartoon Tarzan is similar to this as well. So if you haven't given it a good proper look, give it a proper look now that it's been far away from when it was released. So it's 5 years. So give it a shot. But I enjoyed it. The Legend of Tarzan. I was always hoping for a sequel.
I thought about putting this. This did make my long list of potentials because I do agree. I remember I was late to the party, and not even late to the party because, like you said, it didn't get very good reviews. So I do agree. I think it's a little underrated because I think it is very watchable. There are some good moments in it as well. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't do well. But again, older films, set in some type of genres don't work for most people today.
Another movie that has a little bit of a back and forth as far as reception from great to too long. You can argue it's too long, but I still think it's an epic. Is King Kong from 2005 here. Peter Jackson, I do really enjoy Jack Black in this as well. I don't know, man. I was along for the ride. I kind of knew, based on Lord of the Rings, that you're getting into a long movie with him, and you take a while to get to him. But when you're building up with, such well directed and cinematography and acting, I don't know, man. Like I'm along for it here. So Naomi Watts is, I think, in the right lead. Brody, I don't know if he was the right casting choice, but still, I thought this was still worth checking out. It's a worth repeat too if you haven't seen it in a while here. So the most recent, not the most recent King Kong anymore, but the most recent King Kong, just call that.
And the only reason why I don't put this on my list is I don't like how they treat Kong. So I'm like, I know that's how the original felt. If you go in my kitchen, I have a King Kong poster of the original 1930s poster in my kitchen. But I am, I'm a big fan of Kong, but I still just don't like the way they treated Kong in those movies. That's why I love the new ones more. Then my third is we're going back, kids. Way before I was born, way before you were anyone's thought, and I was the same. 1967, The Jungle Book. Oh yes, we're going animated with Disney with King Louie. You know, over there going, you hoo hoo, I want to be like you, Scooby Dooby Doo. Why? You know, I just such a fun scene where he's trying to, try to get the man's, the fire from Mowgli, thinking he has all the, the man's power to create red fire or something like that. And it's just a great little movie to begin with Bare Necessity and a lot of songs that you can just get to go along and enjoy. And but again, it's just a fun romp as a kid. I do remember this going to the theater when they re-released it, and laughing like how you would laugh, when you were watching Monkey Trouble, right? So it's just unbelievable, what a good movie could do and lift your spirits. This is one of those, and thank God we can watch it on Disney Plus at any time. So. The Jungle Book from 1967 from Disney, very, very good.
So this is kind of funny because here's the thing. I agree and I disagree all at once because my number 2 is The Jungle Book from 2016. No, I got to go with the action one. This thing really surpassed my expectations here. I was just enthralled from the beginning here. I like the kid. I love the CGI doesn't take you out at all. The voice acting that they chose here from everyone, Idris Elba and above. And yeah, this thing just really grabs me, man. I still think it might be the best live action reboot we've had from Disney so far.
I agree.
Somewhere different here, you get a little bit of songs, a little bit of things that they put in the right amount. But it is different. It is more, a little more mature, but enough to work. I'd say about 10 or 12. You definitely get into it. And yeah, I really dug it, and that's why I also like The Jungle Book. But I'm going with this one.
No, I don't fault you. I was tossed up where I wanted to put that, and I was like, well, I just want one Jungle Book in my book. My deal. I could put 2 Jungle Books in, right, but I wanted to space it out, so I had to dump one. And that one Jungle Book means more to you than probably me, so I would have had it lower in my book, but that's fine. That's what I love about our list. We haven't really doubled up on anything, which is even cooler, to a degree. My second, though, is All About the Apes, but not the apes you're thinking. I'm thinking 1968, The Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston. Where it is a classic, of course, get your filthy paws off me, you damn dirty ape, is the first lines uttered from him at all, any human. Everyone else has been around, but it's the first time he speaks, and it's like almost an hour into the film before he actually speaks. Because I think he has a bruised larynx, I believe is what they said or whatever. But it is a great thriller and, a piece of great practical effects, great makeup. It was boggling that how great they did those monkeys. How they turned those actors into the live talking apes. It's just unbelievable, and of course they had a whole, Return to the Planet of the Apes, Escape from the Valley of the Apes, and all these other ape movies that they came out with. And like I said, it was just an unbelievable twist at the end. And even as a kid, it still blew my mind. Even though I when I was a kid, I thought those things were real. I was like, oh my God, those are real monkeys that can do that. I was kind of afraid of a monkey for a little bit, but this is a great classic, one to watch. And the reboots weren't as good. I think the last one that came out, I don't remember the name of that one. What was the last monkey, the Planet of the Apes film that came out? Just recently. That one was not a bad film. I enjoyed that one a little bit more. So I think it got better as time progressed, from that. But yeah, there you go. Planet of the Apes, 1968. That's my number 2.
All right, we're down now to the top of the monkeys. And guess what? I'm going to once again Totally agree and totally disagree with you, my friend, because my number one, we're going back to the apes and we're going back to the new ones, though. And I'm actually giving you the second one of the new trilogy. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is the one I am going to fight for here. I love this new trilogy. I love the original one too. I grew up on that. I remember, seeing it with my mom and my uncle. We had the VHS. I loved it. The sequels, not so much. The reboot with Wahlberg, even less so.
Yeah.
This did it perfectly. I was not interested in the Franco movie. It's one I saw on DVD afterwards, and it hooks you in. It's a great first movie origin story, and then it builds it with Dawn. I think this is the best of the three. It really builds on the heart, the main character of Caesar, the ape, and then sets up the third one. You're so ready for that third one here. Which my only downfall was kind of like the culmination with the villain and Woody Harrelson I didn't love. But I think I fight for this. It's a strong trilogy. Uh, I think it's a really well done trilogy. It tells one continuing story with each movie pretty much leaving you fulfilled. And yeah, so when I looked at my top 10 here, if I had done, like you said, with the Georgia Jungle Books, I could have included the other one definitely in my top 10 as well, the OG with Heston. But I just wanted one Planet of the Apes movie, and I had to go with this one here. And this was kind of definitely my number one here. I think this is one of the best trilogies overall of the last like decade or so.
Yeah, like I said, and even Gary Oldman in that film was kind of good. I liked his role in that too as
Great.
well. But like I said, the first one with Franco, I did not like at all.
That's a good one. Oh, I disagree.
And I just don't. I'm not, I don't like Franco as much as you, I guess, but he kind of turns me off here and there.
Franco. I think it's just a well-made film, and I think he's good.
The second one, like I said, the second one got me more into it. The third one, I enjoyed it, and like you said, the ending kind of sucked for the third one, but it was a good one. I didn't have to see the first one to really enjoy the second or the third, but it was a culmination in my mind. I did
that too, because even in the trailer just now, you see that there's a history of why Caesar's torn.
Yeah, but he talks about it too. He emotes.
But if you see it, I think it helps. Like I said, it's a great pilot episode. It's a great first season. Is the first one? You know what I mean? Like it's gearing up. The second and third are better. The first one's a good gear.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this one. You've had both Kongs. You had Kong Skull Island. You had Kong, regular King Kong. My number one though is Kong Skull Island. I am a very big fan, as you know, of King Kong. I enjoy it immensely. And this one right here, I got behind 100%. I gave this one probably about a 4, 4.5, or 5. I'm not sure what I gave this. Kong Skull Island is what I gave. Is my number one monkey film. It's just such a good presence, a rebirth, we'll say, of Kong. From all the other static Kongs that they've had in the past, where he's always met a demise, where this time we don't see him meet a demise, we see him, flourish, and and that helps with this new sequel that came out, which I gave a huge review. Check it out earlier in the show, and Jordan gave it a anyway. But yeah, I agree. We all have our agreements, but I did love this one, and just the presence and the kind of the levity as well that we talked about. John C. Reilly made in the film for being a very high tense film, to bring it down just a little bit, but then not ratcheting it back up with Kong versus Samuel Jackson's character as well. Again, the people are just there, and Kong, they're just living in Kong's world, basically, is what, you get to learn about it. And, I enjoyed this, and that's why it's my number one. I still enjoy it. I still pop it on the old television on occasion, just to watch me a good Kong film. This is it, along with the Godzilla versus Kong as well. So let's recap, my friend.
All right, who's starting?
Well, you, because you started the whole thing.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, my top 10 monkey movies. Number 10, Hangover 2. Number 9, Dunstan Checks In. Number 8, Kong Skull Island. Number 7, Monkey Trouble. 6, George of the Jungle. 5, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. 4, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. 3, King Kong from 2005. Number 2, The Jungle Book from 20 whatever. And number 1, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, my number 10 is Gorillas in the Mist. Dora the Explorer is number 9. Number 8, Every Which Way But Loose. Number 7, we have Project X. Number 6, Outbreak. Number 5, Curious George the Movie. Number 4, The Legend of Tarzan, 2016. Then we go to number 3, The Jungle Book, 1967. Number 2, The Planet of the Apes from 1968. And the number 1, Kong Skull Island. That is our great top 10 list for both of us. I applaud us. Good job there, Jordan. You doubted that you had 10. I'm surprised, though, Matt LeBlanc's film Behind You, Ed didn't make it in. I didn't hear any. You never saw it. It's an awful film, so you're very well lucky not to see it. So, but it's that time. I'm not going to mince words any longer. I've been waiting for this portion the whole night. I have notes saying I want this portion of the show right now. Just take my word for it. Anyway, it is my favorite segment. It's probably your guys' favorite segment. So sit back, relax as we get knowledge just drizzled and just drench us with the knowledge, my good man, of the news and the notable stuff.
News and notables. Alrighty, guys, some notes coming in for you. For the second Sonic the Hedgehog 2, looks like Knuckles will indeed be a part of it. It's the red one, in case you're interested. Several trailers have dropped recently. I want to hear your quick opinions on these. You got Shang-Chi, Hitman Wife's Bodyguard sequel, and Army of the Dead. I think all three trailers are pretty well made. I'm looking forward to all three. What about you?
Shang-Chi, that one is going to be. I was just amazed. Again, I love martial arts. I don't know anything about this character, so I am in. And I'm glad. I don't want to go over any preconceived notions of how he fits in with this universe. Let me get in. I just want in, and I love the main star. Anyway, he's on our favorite show, Kim's Convenience. So there you go. That's it. What was the next one that you gave me?
Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I'm torn. I will watch it due to the fact we watched the first one. So you and I will be in the theater to watch that one, and the other one on Netflix, the Day of the Dead or something. What was it called?
Army of the Dead.
Yeah,
Your favorite director.
Army of the Dead. I will watch it because I love Batista, and I hope it's a well done film. I just don't know. It's still Snyder, and he still feels full of himself. So other than that backhanded comment towards Snyder, I'm open to all three of these films.
Same here. Lucy Liu has been added as the villain to the Shazam sequel, Fury of the Gods. And kind of the bummer news of the week, in my opinion here, Sylvester Stallone will not reprise Rocky in Creed 3. So Creed 3 will go Rocky-less. What's your opinion on this? I just find it sad because, like, even if they kill him in the first 40 minutes, I still want to see him. Will he be, will they just be like, he's sick or he's busy? Like, how do they do this? What's your opinion?
Well, I don't think they need him because they used him earlier in the first movie, Creed, which was well done. And I think it's now time for Creed's character to move on and strike a chord for himself. And so I think he'll still be around. He just won't be with Creed. They could have maybe had a disagreement. Because that's what happened. If you don't remember with Tommy Morrison in Rocky 4, there was an issue between him and Tommy Morrison's character in Rocky 4 or 5 or 5. I'm sorry, Rocky 5, I believe. And so they kind of split, and then they had to fight each other later. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime. I think it's okay to be Stallone-less in this one. I think it's better for Creed's character. You got to have development. And I think that helps.
I just want to say a little bit of Rocky. That's all I'm saying. The Black Adam.
you will see him, by the way. I'm sorry, but you will see him as King Shark. So good job.
You won't see him. You'll hear him.
That's good enough. I don't need to see him.
Black Adam starring The Rock has begun filming. Finally, I feel like we've been hearing about this movie for decades. Tom Kenny, of course, is the legendary voice actor, SpongeBob, amongst many other things, will reprise the role as the narrator for the Powerpuff Girls live-action reboot. And if you are interested, you can look up what the three young ladies look like, including I saw one image of them in their respective colors. So that has been casted as well. How I Met Your Father spinoff is in the works at Hulu with Hilary Duff. So let's just hope that, unlike the How I Met Your Mother show, you don't spend 7 seasons and they go, never mind, your father's dead. She's with the guy that we met in season one. Um, as always, here at the show, we got to do the release date shuffle, and it's Tom Cruise edition of the release date shuffle. Top Gun Maverick was coming out July 4th. We're now going to see it in November 19th. I feel like we've been talking about that movie for a while as well. Mission Impossible 7 has been pushed back as well now to May 27th of 2022, which means Mission Impossible 8 is still just a year away after that, in July 7th of 2023. A lot of people have been pushing for legendary Star Trek Reading Rainbow actor LeVar Burton to host Jeopardy. He indeed will be one of the final special guests to host Jeopardy. And
Finally.
Disney Plus has inked a deal with Sony, so if you want to see all the Spider-Man movies, you'll be seeing that pretty soon over at the Disney Plus. What you got?
If you love How I Met Your Mother, if you really love it, Hilary Duff just signed on to do a sequel series to the show over on Hulu. So there's a little we don't really.
Dutch, you weren't listening to me, were you? Because I just said that.
I know. I was excited. Is How I Met Your Father.
I just said all of that.
I love it. I'm just excited. I'm sorry. I was so excited. I read it. I was like, I'm sorry. I apologize. I did hear about the Sony thing though. So I didn't want to ever say anything about that.
Reiterate that now. Tell me about how they. No, go ahead. Reiterate it. Tell them like your breaking news about Spider-Man.
But did you know though Netflix also has a first option as well, so it's going to be fun with Netflix and Sony going over it.
Speaking of Netflix, by the way, 3 major shows are returning later this year: Cobra Kai and You. So looking forward to that. I love Cobra Kai and You, and Witcher. Maybe someday I'll watch.
And Witcher I love, so I can't wait to toss a coin to my Witcher to see the second season. Also, don't forget, Ted Lasso will be in July 30th, I believe, is the launch date on Apple Plus for season 2. They've already been signed for 3 seasons, guaranteed. So I'm hoping they start filming 3rd season soon, just because I want to make sure that if anything bad happens, we have a 3rd season in the can. But yeah, I am excited for this. I don't think there's much out there, which is awesome. So what else we got out there? Do you have anything else that's interesting besides things that already that I have that you know, Mr. King?
Nope, I already said that's all I got.
Okay, well, I am just happy that they're gonna have that How I Met Your Father. It's been abandoned.
Since you didn't hear it, obviously, because you weren't paying attention, I'll redo my joke I also said, which was, as long as they don't introduce the father in the last season and then kill him off and reveal the real love interest was from season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, let's not do that. That was disappointing. Really was.
Yeah, let's spend half a season, Billy. Let's spend half a season building up a wedding and then going, in the finale going, they broke up sometime in between the commercials.
Well, hey, you were a Quibi subscriber, correct?
Nope.
Or who was? Somebody was a Quibi subscriber in your family.
I don't know.
Your brother, I believe. But anyway, as you know, Roku bought all of Quibi's stuff. And so they're rebranding it Roku Originals. So therefore, they are now going to be claiming that as their own. So they've rebranded any Quibi as a Roku channel brand.
Now, are they out yet? Because I am interested in several of those.
I don't have a release date just yet. They're still trying to put them all together at the moment. But give me 2 seconds, and I can tell you if there are dates set. But yeah, they looks like they're just going to throw out 70. They have 75 plus original shows, so they will probably be putting them out as much as possible, here and there throughout the year, so we can all get our 5 minutes on for a show, I guess. Especially be able to see the Reno 911 reboot they did.
Reno 911, there's a WWE one. There's one with Will Forte. Yeah, there were several things I was interested in.
Yeah, even Fun just had a show on Quibi, so it was interesting. So yeah. Like I said, everybody had a show somewhere at one time or another. But yeah, I'm excited. So next week, let's give them a sneak peek what we're going to look at next week. What are we going to look at next week?
Well, next week, it looks like we're both going to talk maybe some Willy's Wonderland for
Yep.
you, starring Nicolas Cage. I believe. Well, will we have Mortal Kombat in the can?
Mortal Kombat should be in both our cans for next week as well, because it comes out Friday when we're so right before we tape this. But it's
And then can I release the big news? Are you in, Dutch?
You go ahead and release the big news, sir. I will stand by you 100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, next week, the first ever, screw the Oscars, screw the Globes, screw you MTV Movie Awards. It's the first ever a show about shows, the Showies, the 2021 Showies. We're going to nominate our own best actors, actresses, directors. We can have fun. We'll talk. Maybe do best cameo, whatever we want to do, man. We'll do. That'll take place in the top 10 next week, and we'll just have some fun. We'll give awards. We'll give shout outs to people that didn't get the shout out. That's my personal opinion.
Absolutely. I
got an Oscar nomination. You got love already. I want to give love to others.
Yeah, there's one guy out there that I really believe needs some Oscar love this year, and I've talked him up a lot this year.
Me too.
So
Ben
so I
Affleck.
Nicolas Cage. But anyway, hey, have you seen
And the
Jiu-Jitsu
Showies
yet?
has been canceled. Never mind.
Have you seen Jiu-Jitsu? I'm such a fan. I am such a fan. He's so crazy. He plays it just right.
The Color of Space.
Yes, I have. It's a very good movie.
It's all right. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's another of his 15 movies that he puts out a year. So
I'm gonna ask you one favor. If
yes.
you nominate 5 best actors, just 1 slot for Cage, not 5 slots for Cage.
Okay, I will try to keep it down to 1 and maybe a best supporting if I could find one. Actually, you know what? I think if you watch Jiu-Jitsu, I would like to put him in probably the best supporting category. I would not put him in the major category. So that that's.
I don't know. Like I said, we'll do our own 5 nominees, and then we'll give the actual award out. You can do your own 5. Have fun. You do you.
Well, if I would have, we I love you, brother. You know that, right? Oh my God. Anywho, that's it. We have all for the show. I'm glad that we're going to have the Showies nominations next week. And I can't. Yeah, and we're gonna have winners too. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is actually weekend be and now the winner, let's get it done. Here's the
Okay. Here. Okay, and the show is, and I'm gonna have an envelope I'll tear open because I'm gonna have it.
I'll email all the winners if you would like to appear on the show and accept your award. Ben Affleck, you totally can.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. But let me just say, for showing up on Jiu-Jitsu, even though I thought Color was a better movie. But you like comics? Some random shit. But anyway, also I want to say congratulations, Nicolas Cage. I don't think we've ever said it enough, but congratulations to your new marriage. May it work for you. Yeah, you got remarried to a 25-year-old or something like that.
Lisa Marie, right?
No, some 25-year-old girl.
I don't know. Presley.
Yeah, I remember that. They lived down the street from each other. Never lived in the same house.
That's called true love, kids.
Absolutely. I was like, I feel comfortable in my place, and I don't want you anywhere near my kids. So I'm going to stay over here. You stay over there. So anyway, without further ado, though, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's been a while. I enjoyed coming back. I only got 19 more of these to go, so love me a lot. So
wait, are you still committing to just leaving at 100?
I'm working on the other show, brother.
It started as a joke, but the more you say, the more serious I think you are.
I will stay committed as long as I can. So I want you to drive safe, be safe. Go out there, wear your mask where you can. If you have already got your inoculation, which I've already done my 2 shots, you got 1 more to go. But I can't wait to be maskless in front of you. And and have a good time. And so I just can't wait for that day to come, and where I can just be happy in a theater without my my recycled popcorn breath coming back up my nose. So I thank you again for doing this show with me, and Thank you very much again, Jordan. Anything you want to tell these cretins that watch the show?
No, if you're in Fort Myers, Sunday, May 2nd, come out to the Southwest Florida Comic Con. Lots of fun panels and wrestling trivia and free gifts.
Free gifts?
Not be there.
Free gifts? What kind of free gifts?
If you win the wrestling trivia.
I don't know about
here's the thing: everyone gets something. So even if you lose, you'll get something.
Will I get a towel?
Maybe. I do have a Boom Boom Kofi Kingston towel somewhere in my room.
Ooh, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, so
it's used by me a lot, so just keep that in mind.
It probably stands up by itself, which is amazing.
Ew.
SOS, I need some soap.
That's hilarious.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying it for the towel. It's asking for help. Anywho, other than that, I'm glad. So check out the Comic-Con in May 2nd. Coming up right around the bend. If I can't make it, I'm sure one of you guys will. So do it.
I have plenty
enjoy
of
it.
8x10s on me if you want to buy one.
If you want one, I will be glad to sign it. Just send a pre-addressed stamped envelope along with $12, and I will mail it back to you in due course. So yes, I will take money orders. So, okay. So, anything else about your cameo experience? Are you going to have a cameo soon?
Yeah, sure. Just send it to my PayPal. We'll forget cameo. I'll just send you a YouTube link. I'll go as long as you want. I don't care. Just send me $10.
There you go. So there you go. We got a cameo / YouTube ask. So I can't wait for those to start pouring in as well. Don't forget to like us, subscribe to us, and watch us. Even if you don't, just have it playing in the background so we get the view. Okay, bitches? So thank you. And we'll talk more after we get off the air because I got some stuff to talk to you about. So.
And you're not bitches, but we love you.